I was just talking to Ralph and William, and I wanted to ask you this question. It's a burning question in my head. How much did the How I Met Your Mother episode influence the creation of Cobra Kai? Did it lay a little seed in your brains? Because the reaction to that was just
It's funny. It really had no role in inspiring the show, but it did give us confidence that, okay, it's still relevant, that we're not crazy. We've been huge fans of Karate Kid, as you know, since we were children. In our worlds, everyone who we know loves Karate Kid in the ways that we did. And How I Met Your Mother's success was just sort of proof positive that, audiences out there were as obsessed with the Karate Kid as we were, and as obsessed with Billy Zabka's portrayal of Johnny Lawrence as we were. So, we had the idea for Cobra Kai actually, in the early 2000s when we were like in our early 20s. We lived in an apartment together. He lived one block away. We were watching the 20th anniversary Cobra Kai, or Karate Kid DVDs, and watching interviews with Billy Zabka talking about his approach to Johnny Lawrence, and us all sitting there talking about, wouldn't it be amazing to get into this universe and tell a story? And at the time it was a movie called Cobra Kai, where we see what happens to Johnny Lawrence, what happened to that bully from your high school once he grows up. And so the seeds were there. And, over the years, there were a number of things that sort of gave us the confidence, including that How I Met Your Mother story. And, once we saw, streaming shows successful with legacy characters like Fuller House, we're like, we see Kimmy Gibbler on a billboard. Why can't we see Ralph Macchio and Billy Zabka on a billboard? And we took it from there.
What's been the biggest kind of, I guess, aspiration that you guys have taken away from this? Like, what's the thing that you managed to do in this series that you maybe thought wasn't possible? You've gone for 6 seasons. Was there something that you thought, God, if we can get this, or we can do this thing, it would be just amazing? Or if any things that you've missed out on that you haven't been able to quite bring to life?
Every season we go back to the original Karate Kid movies and we think, okay, these are like little action figures that we get to play with. And over the course of this series, we've created, new action figures. There's always stuff that you sometimes have to adjust your expectations because there's all sorts of practical challenges that happen along the way. But for the most part, when you look back on it, it's just the fact that we're able to take these characters from the original movie and act as if that movie that's the universe that we're in right now. So, the key is just making it feel like you're watching a sequel at all times to The Karate Kid. And yet because it's television, because there's multiple episodes, you can turn things up a notch here and there and introduce new characters and build things in a way that it feels very natural by the end of season 5 that there's a sword-on-size fight that's going on. So, we just go in with, what's our wildest imagination about what we can do that would be the most entertaining. And, we've been lucky up until this point. We've pretty much been able to do, everything that we've wanted to do.
This is the final question, then. What's a very quick answer from each of you? What's kind of your proudest moment in the show so far, in the whole show?
Oh boy, I think just from a production standpoint, being able to pull off the season 3 finale, that one broke me quite literally. I ended up in back surgery shortly thereafter, but having a practical pit for the Vietnam scenes that they were fighting over proved to be a daunting task, but it looked amazing on camera. And then being able to manage both the writing and the production and the post-production of fights happening in 3 different venues simultaneously in that episode and making it all kind of sing like a symphony. I think that was one that we were, just all thrilled came together the way we envisioned.
I mean, there's so many proud moments. I mean, anytime we were tackling a giant tournament, we're proud of the logistical craziness of filming so much with so many people and sort of the symphony of everybody working together for something so big. But I'd say that the proudest moments are really the reaction from the fan base has been what's been the most proud, is the connections that people have to this franchise, some from 40 years ago, and others brand new connections. The way that the show has inspired people is something that I didn't necessarily expect at the beginning, was how the impact that our fun karate opera can have on the lives of people all over the world.
And I guess I echo those moments. I feel the same. I would just add bringing Thomasie and Griffith back as Terry Silver in season 4. I just felt that was such a fun, bold move. On the one hand, we really kept it at bay for a long period of time. Because we knew that third movie was a much more heightened movie, and that character was so heightened that it would heighten the show. And we did it in a way that kind of eased the character in through first flashbacks in season 3, and then meeting him in a way that he's kind of, like a guy who's the rock star who's over that era, and so it kind of eased in and just slowly over time built it up so that he could, take over the valley in season 5. And it's those types of fun, fun things that you could really only do on this show, because you're drawing from these characters in the past. And I knew that, even though Terry Silver isn't on and Karate Kid 3 isn't regarded in exactly the same way as the original movies, it's a fun character that we can play with. And you see Marvel, take very esoteric characters that nobody knows from the comics and blow them out into huge things. So I don't know, something about making Terry Silver back in on posters all through and billboards all throughout LA was just wow, we did it.
Amazing. Guys, I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!